Hello, Year 3. Good morning, afternoon, evening, night, whenever you might be watching this. I hope you're doing really well. We're changing pace today in RE. The last 4 lessons we've looked at Christians in history. So we looked at Christians thousands of years ago, or 1,700 years ago when they first came to Britain. We looked at the history of St Paul's Cathedral. We looked at the history of Catholic Christians and Catholic cathedrals in England in the last 200 years. And we looked last lesson at some beautiful and interesting religious art that was in our booklet. And the next 2 lessons, we're looking at 2 places where we might see evidence of Christian belief today. We're going to look at Jehovah's Witnesses today. And then next lesson, we're going to look at baptism at Twickenham Stadium, which is quite exciting. Jehovah's Witnesses are a group of Christians who believe they have a duty to spread the word of Christianity. And I wonder, let's just get that term, Jehovah's Witnesses. It's quite a difficult, kind of unusual word, Jehovah's Witnesses. Jehovah is a word for God. It's a Hebrew word for God. So it's like people who are witnessing God. They are a type of Christian who witness God. Okay, so we've been through this, the evidence that we looked at, and now we're going to look at evidence in modern day London. Right, so Jehovah's Witnesses are a type of Christian that believes strongly in evangelism. And this is a word I'm introducing probably for the first time, so it's really important to understand what it means. Evangelism. Evangelism means spreading your religion to other people. So for Christians, it means telling people about the Bible, God, Jesus, prayer, church, and then hoping that those people will want to come and experience that with you. So just to be clear, evangelism is spreading your religion to other people. Okay, evangelism. If you do that, you're evangelizing. You're an evangelist. It's a good word, actually, evangelism. And Jehovah's Witnesses, all Christians kind of do this in one way or another. It's quite an important part of Christianity. They see themselves as spreading the good news of the Bible. In fact, actually, the Gospels translated, the name of the Gospels, which means the books that tell the story of Jesus, translated into from Greek, from a word that means good news. And you spread good news, you tell people about good news. So Christians across the world believe that evangelism is very important, getting more people to become Christians. But Jehovah's Witnesses really take this very seriously, and they actually go out onto the streets with leaflets and booklets and spread the word. And I'm sure you've seen them. I don't think you could walk around London for a day, at least in normal times, and not see Jehovah's Witnesses, often outside train stations, tube stations, museums, on busy streets and shopping centres. And they hand out leaflets and they hand out booklets, and they hope that people will read them and want to go to their church. So let's have a look at a little bit more detail about what they do here. This is Oxford Circus tube station, right in the busy centre of London. And they stand there and they invite people to join them at their meetings and find out more about their religion. And one of the questions we're going to ask today is, do you think this is effective? Do you think this works? Do you think this is a good idea? They've thought a lot about what is the most effective way. Some groups of Christians, like Mormons, they go door to door. They knock on your front door and they say, I'd like to tell you about Jesus Christ. Some groups go to universities and do it. But Jehovah's Witnesses are really focused on shopping centres, bus stations, train stations, tube stations. And it's interesting. We're going to look at a news article and see if this has been effective for them. Okay, so here we go. The Jehovah's Witnesses new tactics. So that means their new method from July 2014 from BBC News. I'm going to read and we can all follow along at the same time. So the Jehovah's Witnesses, I'm starting down here at the bottom. The Jehovah's Witness movement has been on a year-long drive to recruit commuters at UK train stations, shopping centres and parks. It's a change of tactics, writes Sophie Robermed. Volunteers are targeting train stations as well as shopping centres and other busy places in 14 cities across Europe, across Britain and Ireland. Belfast, Birmingham, Bristol, Cardiff, Dublin, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Leeds, Liverpool, London, Manchester, Newcastle, Nottingham and Sheffield. In London alone, the movement says it has 1,000 people giving away literature, and they have got through about 6,000 brochures, 20,000 books and 100,000 magazines each month. So that's actually more people, they say, giving out books and leaflets on the streets of London than there are students at our whole school. So it's really quite a lot of people. At Oxford Circus, in the centre of London, and the fourth busiest underground metro station in the UK, the Jehovah's Witnesses are passed by hundreds of thousands of people every week. Deep Singh, a coordinator for this latest street drive, who converted from Sikhism 23 years ago, stands with his arms outstretched, holding books with the title, "What Does the Bible Really Teach?" in capital letters. His wife Ruth, meanwhile, hovers by a stand stocked with copies of Awake, the Jehovah's Witnesses flagship magazine. The couple are joined by another volunteer, and the station's other entrances are manned by other groups. Even standing by the volunteers for an hour, it seems few passers-by stop to talk. I wonder if you would stop and talk. I wonder if you've ever seen your parents be asked or be given a leaflet or spoken to by these people. It's interesting. I have to be honest, I don't think I would. I think if I'm in Oxford Circus, I'm busy, I'm going to the shops. If I'm at Waterloo Station, I might be getting a train to go somewhere. I'm probably not thinking much about religion. I'm probably not thinking much about changing the type of Christian that I am. So, you know, these are the things we need to be thinking about when we're going to answer this question in today's booklet. The question in today's booklet is, do you think this way of spreading the word of Christianity is effective? And rather than just saying yes or no, you need to give some evidence for that. You need to say, yes, it is effective because. No, I don't think it's effective because. And then say why. So I'd be really interested to see what you have to say on this. Let's have a look at this last slide. Okay, so yeah, think about why this might be an effective or ineffective way of encouraging people to go along to the meetings of the Jehovah's Witnesses. And why might it work or not work? I wish I could hear what you were saying because I'd be so interested to see, but luckily you're going to write it down in the booklet for me and let me know what you think. So there's another place where we can see evidence of Christian belief. We can see it St Paul's Cathedral, National Gallery, British Museum, Southwark Cathedral, all historical places, but also Oxford Circus Tube Station, Borough Tube Station, London Bridge. We can also see it there. And next lesson we'll look at Twickenham Stadium and the way in which we can see evidence of Christian belief there. So have a lovely weekend. I will see you next week. Enjoy the good weather, if it is good weather. And I'll see you then. Bye, Year 3.